let's start.
Hey everybody, what's up, Gavin here. So today we're going to be reacting to everything we know about the hashira so far. Now this is going to feature manga, and it's also going to feature a manga called Stories of Water and Flame, which is a Roblox freak. It is a manga I actually just got at Walmart yesterday. It was pretty good. I loved it. It was beautiful. It was amazing. Yeah, go to Walmart and Target to get that if you want. It's a really good book, so go check it out. I also got the official coloring book too. Let's get into the video.
With the hashira, who we can thank for the story of Demon Slayer as we know it, Giyu Tomioka.
He saved the story.
As a child, he lived with his older sister, Tsutaka Tomioka, but the day before her marriage, she sacrificed herself to protect Giyu from a demon. He tried telling everybody that Tsutaka had been killed by a demon, but since not many people knew about their existence, they just took him as crazy and sent him on a trip to live with a relative of his who was a doctor. Giyu managed to escape before he arrived at his relative's house and nearly died in the mountains. He was lucky a hunter who happened to know Urokodaki found him, or he would have probably died right there. When he was 13, he met with Sabito while training with Urokodaki. They became close very quickly thanks to their similar age and pasts. When the time of their final selection came, Giyu was injured during his first encounter with a demon, and Sabito saved him. By the time Giyu recovered, the final selection was over, and everyone had survived except Sabito, who gave his life to save everyone he could, and killed most of the demons in that final selection. Despite sharpening his skills to the point of becoming a hashira and saving dozens, maybe even hundreds of lives, he never felt worthy of the pillar title because he didn't pass the final selection on his own strength. 2. Mitsuri Kanroji. Mitsuri, also known as the Love Hashira.
This is the part from the manga. This whole part's gonna be from the manga. Stories of Flame, Water and Flame. Because she was there. She was trained. No, Rengoku was training her. So yeah, Rengoku was training her. And yeah.
Grew up in a large
also, Rengoku used to wear the same jacket as Mitsuri. Because only Flame Hashira can wear the thing.
Family with 5 siblings, and even as a child, she was obviously strong. She was born with an extraordinary body composition. Her muscles are 8 times denser than those of an average person, meaning she might look thin, but could easily destroy you, me, and anyone watching this video if she wanted to. Of course, that amount of strength also required an immense amount of food. It is stated that she ate as much as 3 sumo wrestlers. Lastly, her crazy hair color was thanks to her eating so much sakura mochi. And by this time, all of these traits only made her look like a freak. Back when she was 17, her husband-to-be rejected her because of all of her peculiarities.
That's messed up.
And that broke her. Since that day, she decided to hide who she was. She dyed her hair black, pretended to be weak, and even skipped meals just to fit in. After changing her appearance, a new potential partner appeared, but it just made her doubt if living a life pretending to be someone else was worth it. Sometime after that, she encountered Ubuyashiki, who told her to be proud of her strength and that she was a special person loved by the gods. Finally, someone told her she should be proud of who she is. After that, Mitsuri joined the Demon Slayer Corps looking for a more suitable husband for her. She was trained by Rengoku, but never felt entirely comfortable with flame breathing, so she created her own breathing style, love breathing, during a battle in which she helped Rengoku stand.
I remember this. This is where he was setting up the bomb, or the lower moon 2 was setting up bombs.
Against Haido, the lower rank 2 of that time. Thanks to her strength, superhuman flexibility, and overall skills, she managed to scale quickly in the Demon Slayer Corps rank until she became the Love Hashira. 3. Obanai Iguro. And of course, after the Love Hashira, we must talk about her biggest simp, Obanai Iguro. He was born into a family that has only had girls for almost 4 centuries. But that wasn't the only weird thing about his family. They turned out to be a clan of thieves that worshipped a half-snake, half-woman demon. The deal was this: if they gave her their newborn babies to eat as a sacrifice, they could keep the riches and belongings of the people that she ate. He passed the beginning of his life locked in a wooden cage.
Up.
The serpent demon was obsessed with him since he was the first boy in the family after centuries and had heterochromia, which is when you have two different colors in your eyes. When he turned 12, he came out of his cage for the first time just to finally meet eye to eye with the serpent demon. She looked at him and determined that she would wait a little longer to eat him because right now he was too small. After that, she ordered the clan to cut his mouth so that he looked more similar to her, and the blood he shed from the cuts.
Ooh! I'll beat him up. If I were you guys, I would just beat him up.
Was served in a chalice for the demon to drink. When he was sent back to his room, he began scratching his way through a section of the bars with a hairpin he stole from one of his relatives. Night after night he worked, until one day he managed to remove the section of bars and escape.
Are those
but the
wooden
demon
bars?
noticed, and that infuriated her, which led her to kill almost all 50 of Obanai's relatives. Right before the demon was about to catch and kill Obanai, the flame hashira from that time, Kyojiro's dad, chopped her head off and saved him. After that, his only surviving family member was his older cousin, who accused him of their family's death and told him he should have just let the demon eat him. He carried a lot of guilt from being born into such a family and then allowing them to die at the cost of his freedom. So he decided to join the Demon Slayer Corps to risk his life for others to ease the guilt and the self-hatred he felt. 4. Sanemi Shinazagawa. Next up, we have the Wind Hashira, Sanemi Shinazagawa.
I hate this.
Sanemi was the eldest of 7 siblings and lived with both of his parents. His father was abusive, but he died unexpectedly. So Sanemi decided to support his family, including his...
So his backstory is the same as Gyu's backstory from the Swordsmith Village arc episode 6. So I already know this dude's backstory.
Younger brother Genya. One day, when his mother took too long to get home, Sanemi went out to look for her. When he found her, he quickly realized that she had been turned into a demon, but he couldn't stop her from killing all his siblings except for Genya. When she tried to go after him, Sanemi tackled her through a window. While they fought, Sanemi's mom gave him 2 large scars across his face, and his Marechi blood intoxicated her, giving him an opening to cut her down. Of course, when his younger brother arrived at the scene of Sanemi covered in blood and their mother lying dead at his feet, he didn't give Sanemi time to explain and instead called him a murderer since he thought everything else had been a wolf attack. After that day, the brothers took separate paths, and Sanemi dedicated his days to hunting demons without knowing the existence of the Demon Slayer Corps. As such, his technique consisted of capturing them until daybreak and exposing them to the morning sunlight. While on his mission, he finally met an actual demon slayer who introduced him to a proper trainer, and after finishing his training, they teamed up to defeat the lower rank one of that time. They killed him, but sadly his friend didn't survive the fight, so only Sanemi became a Hashira. 5. Gyomei Himejima. Stone Hashira was...
I kind of feel sympathy for the Wind Hashira. I kind of feel sympathy for Sanemi.
born blind, and before becoming a demon slayer, he lived in a temple where he cared for 9 orphan kids. Gyomei was very aware of the existence of demons, so he always burned wisteria incense to keep the demons away from the temple. That wasn't until one day one of the kids broke the rules and went outside of the temple's borders, leading him directly to a demon. To save his life, the kid told him to eat the other children and Himejima instead. After that, the kid moved the wisteria incense out of the temple and invited the demon inside. Gyomei ordered the kids to stay behind him so that he could protect them, but all of them doubted his ability to do anything due to his blindness. So most ran away and got killed. The only one who followed his instructions was the youngest Seo, who was the only one to survive, besides that dumb kid who betrayed everyone. The demon somehow cut across Gyomei's forehead, but he just kept fighting, beating the demon's head until sunrise. Once everyone saw what had happened, the little girl only said, "That man is a monster! Everyone! He killed everyone!" And the people who went to help thought that maybe by he, she meant Gyomei. He was accused of killing 7 children, an accusation that, of course, they sent him to prison for, just waiting to be executed. That was until Ubiyashiki intervened and somehow managed to release him. And after meeting him, Gyomei joined the Demon Slayer Corps, and only 2 months later he became the Stone Hashira. But surprisingly, Gyomei is not the only one who climbed the ranks that quickly. 6. Muichiro Tokito. Muichiro had a twin brother called Yuichiro. When they were 10 years old, their mother got sick with bronchitis, and their father, a selfless and kind woodcutter, went out to fetch some medicinal herbs during a storm, but he fell off a cliff and died.
No!
And their mother died from the sickness.
Dang,
After becoming orphans, Amane, Ubuyashiki's wife, visited them, offering them to join the Demon Slayer Corps. Muichiro was very excited, but Yuichiro rejected the offer. Muichiro was always more similar to their father with his kind nature, even after losing him. But Yuichiro became cold and impassive since he thought that it was that optimistic and kind-hearted personality that got both of their parents killed. So he decided to go edgy to keep his brother and himself alive. Amane didn't give up and returned a couple of times just to receive the same answer. A year later, the twins got another visitor, but it was a demon. Muichiro and Yuichiro did everything they could to keep themselves alive. In the fight, Yuichiro lost his left arm, which enraged Muichiro, forcing him to destroy the demon using every tool he could find in the house. Muichiro fought with the demon until sunrise, when it turned into ashes. After which, Muichiro returned to the house only to find his brother about to die. There was nothing else to do, so he just laid beside his brother and held his hand until he passed away. Later that day, Amane and her daughters paid him a visit and healed his wounds. After all of it, Muichiro lost his memories and became distant and indifferent. Nonetheless, he always felt an incredible rage against demons, which led him to be a great demon slayer. So much so that he also became a hashira just 2 months after joining the Corps. You see, the Stone and Mist hashira shared a secret on how they climbed up so fast in the ranks, and that is that they are big Mini Katana fans. That's right. They were among the first 100 people that subscribed to our channel and have read all the articles of the #1 anime newsletter, Waku Waku, which you should also take a look at and join if you're interested in weekly anime news, announcements, and even monthly prizes. So go check it out and let me know what you think. 7. Shinobu Kocho, the insect hashira, grew up with her parents, who worked in compounding medicine along with her older sister Kanae, until one of Michael Jackson's devoted fans killed their parents right.
I love how he said Michael Jackson, okay? I love it when people call movies on Michael Jackson. I just love that. I just love it so much.
In front of them. But then, when he was about to take the sisters' lives too, he was slaughtered by Himejima. After losing their parents in such a violent way, they promised to become demon slayers so that nobody else would have to go through what they had. Sometime after becoming demon slayers, they encountered a little girl who had been sold as a slave. They managed to distract the man who had bought her and escape with her to the butterfly estate. They named her Kanao and treated her as their little sister. The 3 sisters had a beautiful relationship, but several years later, Kanae died at 17 years old from the wounds she got in a fight against one of the upper-ranked demons. So Shinobu had to take her place as the master of the butterfly estate at the age of 14. Shinobu's physical strength wasn't enough to cut off a demon's head. However, she still wanted to fight demons, so she created her own breathing style, insect breathing, in which she also used her knowledge of mixing medicine that she learned from her parents to develop wisteria poison and kill demons by injecting this poison directly into their bodies with her modified sword. She perfected her technique so well that she became the insect hashira.
The insect
8.
hashira.
Kyojuro Rengoku. Now, Kyojuro grew up always knowing about the demons and the Demon Slayer Corps, since his father was the Flame Hashira before him. His father would train him and his little brother so that one day they could become Demon Slayers too. Years later, his mother became sick and died, which destroyed his father's will to live. Not only due to her health, but also because, after reading the Rengoku family record, he began to believe that flame breathing was nothing but a weaker, knockoff breathing style, leading him to feel as if everything was meaningless. After that, he spent most of his days drinking. He was always angry and became an abusive and absolutely unsupportive parent. Despite that, Kyojuro kept training until one day, he asked Ubuyashiki to give him the title of the new Flame Hashira. So, to prove his worth, he was sent to fight against Hairo, the lower rank one of that time. He took Mitsuri with him, and after a long fight, he managed to defeat the demon, officially becoming the Flame Hashira. 9. Tengen Uzui. The flashiest Hashira grew up in a shinobi clan. He was born into a family of 9 children, 3 of which died by age of 10 due to the rigorous training. His father had a very extreme view of life and raised his children in the same way. He made them believe it was okay to kill innocent people to save their clan, and have a wife only to produce offspring. Tengen's family practiced polygamy, aka the practice of a man having many wives. So at age 15, Tengen had 3 wives chosen for him by the head of the clan. At the same time, his father ordered the 6 remaining siblings to kill each other, but without telling them who they were fighting against and made everyone wear a mask to cover their faces. Tengen didn't realize he was fighting against his own siblings until he had already killed 2 of them. The only survivors of this macabre act were Tengen and one of his younger brothers. Once he noticed that his brother was willing to keep fighting and didn't care much about killing his own family, Tengen left the clan without finishing the fight, taking his 3 wives with him. Sometime after leaving, Tengen met Ubiyashiki to formally join the Demon Slayer Corps and help fight demons until he finally ended up becoming the Sound Hashira. Which one is your favorite Hashira so far? I'll be waiting for your answers in the comments section below.
Alright, but guys, make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.